before we start with today's review, well, intergalactic something review, we must first announce the nominees for Trailer of the Week. The drill is the same as the last 6 episodes, and we each pick 3 trailers to nominate and pick one. The whole shebang. So, Matt, are you ready to announce the nominees?
I'm definitely ready, Jimmy. So, the nominees for Trailer of the Week this week are
Angry Birds Movie 2,
Toy Story 4,
Dora and the Lost City of Gold,
X-Men Dark Phoenix,
Unicorn Store,
Shazam.
And the trailer of the week for this episode is
Shazam, with the runner-up being Unicorn Story. So, Jimmy, what'd you think of the trailer of the week?
I actually thought it was something different, something that isn't seen with a whole lot of movies recently. Well, not movies recently, just DC movies in general, because a lot of DC movies are dark and gloomy and just all around just gothic attitude. That would even make a gothic preteen just dream go to Valhalla or something. But with this film, it's actually pretty different. It has a cute, lighthearted tone, and it seems very harmless for the tone it comes across. It makes me just want to get up out of my seat, de-mic myself, and just run straight to the theater. But I'm not going to, because I'm just talking about the trailer. But anyway, Matt, do you have anything to say about the trailer?
Yeah, and the thing that really made this trailer work for me is that the humor that it had in that video. It's like, sometimes there'd be bits of the trailer where you'd actually laugh at. And that's like a different turn with the normal DC movies that we've been getting recently. So with it looks entertaining and it looks funny. Whenever you combine both those things together, you can make a really good movie. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about that trailer.
All right, so today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man of the Spider-Verse, which released into theaters on December 14th, 2018. And with a budget about $90 million, it managed to pull in a lot of money. Domestically, the film grossed a little over $186 million, with the foreign release being somewhat bigger with $182 million, with the combined total of the whole thing worldwide grossed over $372 million at the box office. Matt, you got anything to say about the movie?
Yeah, and even with the reviews that other people made, they were also overly very positive as well, with Rotten Tomatoes giving the film a 97%, which is really high for Rotten Tomatoes, and IMDb giving the film a 8.5 out of 10, and 87% by the folks over on Metacritic. And finally, last but not least, at least 97% of Google users liked this movie. So, Jimmy, what do you think about those ratings?
Not to mention, it also won awards like the Oscar for Best Animated Picture, Golden Globe for Best Animated Picture, the BAFTA Award for Best Animated Film, the Critics' Choice Award for Best Animated Feature, the PGA Producer of the Year in Animated Theatrical Motion Picture, and lastly, the New York Film Critics Circle for Best Animated Film. Matt, I am about to run out of breath. Could you please discuss more about the film?
All right, so I think this film had me like on the edge of the seat. Like, it was just really fun and enjoyable. Like, I thought the whole film, like, it had bits of funny moments that needed to be there, like you would want with any other Spider-Man film. And it's the best Spider-Man film by Sony that's ever been done in quite a long while. And that's all I got to say about that. So what do you think?
Well, to me, I honestly think that this is one of Sony's best Spider-Man films. And this is a Spider-Man film done right. This is one where they should have done that amps up the ante, amps up the action. It makes me, like you said, at the edge of my seat. And that's kind of what I got from the whole ordeal. It's really fun to watch and really enjoy seeing these characters go through these events. Do you got anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I just really loved all the characters in this movie. Of course, we could go over the characters later, but like I liked both the story and the characters, and also the whole plot itself, and all the action scenes. To me, they were all just great. It's like they were just fun and exciting.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with you. The action was intense and fast-paced. The emotional scenes packed a lot of weight, which is something you typically don't see in a Sony animated picture, i.e. open season. But other than that, I feel that this movie is really, really good, and I hope to see more out of it.
Let's get into the review with the story.
Spoiler alert to those of you who have not seen the movie yet. If you have not seen the movie, go get it. It's amazing. Matt, go ahead and tell us the story.
Right. This film is about a kid named Miles Morales who just got into a new school, and he just recently got bitten by a radioactive spider like Peter Parker does. And then he gets all the spider powers, and he suddenly meets people from like 5 different dimensions that are just like him, and he has to figure out a way how he's going to get them back. So, you got anything else to say, Jimmy?
I honestly think the story hits a lot of notes with some people. Like some people who are the new kids, some people who maybe got into something that they didn't really think that they deserved. Just basically, this really hits all the emotional beats to not only just the audience, but in the story, it also hits the emotional beats. Like, it knows when to be angry, it knows when to be happy, it knows when to feel something. And with past Sony films, it's not really that common to see a lack of emotional beats in a movie, but with this, you could actually really feel it. And that's kind of what I saw from the whole film. Matt, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. To me, I thought the story was really well built. It had such an amazing setting. An amazing setting and also amazing characters, which I know we'll talk about.
I wouldn't say
but
settings. I would say more. I wouldn't say one setting. I would say multiple settings. Cause
I know, but here's what I mean. I think the story was very well built, and it also keeps things interesting. And it's just one of those best Spider-Man films that we've ever received in quite a long while. Probably since, in my opinion, Spider-Man 2.
You hear that, Sony execs? This is how you do Spider-Man right. And based off what you said, I kind of have to agree with you in some areas. The story really packs those emotional beats and shows the setting that it's in really vividly and really colorful. I especially adore the different animation techniques they used here for several of the characters, which I'll get into later, But boiling back to what we were talking about, the story is actually really well built, it's actually really well structured, it flows nicely, and sometimes it actually makes me feel like I'm sort of in a comic book, like I'm reading from a comic book. And heck, even it shows comic books when it's talking about the backstories from time to time.
Oh yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, I just really enjoyed the story as a whole, and I just thought the whole character development with Miles Morales, I know we're not talking about characters, but it's also a part of the story as well. And I thought it was really well done. I also just liked how all the characters came in, and also we already said that we really liked the action scenes and also the fight scenes. And there's a few good plot twists even in there. Miles' uncle, he was actually one of the bad guys in the movie that he chases him at the beginning, and then we see that it's actually him, in the middle of the film. It's what? That was him? Oh my gosh. But, that's all I gotta say. So let's see if this story needs to be fixed or not. So Jimmy, now that we're looking at this, whether the story needs to be fixed, Jimmy, what do you think? Do you think the story needs to be fixed at all?
I honestly don't think the story needs to be fixed at all. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. The setting of where it's at is built up really nicely. It has all of the things you would come to expect out of New York. The Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. Even though we don't technically get to see it in the film, we kind of expect that to be kind of like how it is in the comic books and how it is in real life. Well, and the story kind of hits the emotional beats very well, like what you said with Uncle Aaron with Miles finding out that his uncle is actually the Prowler and all that. It kind of really sets the tone, and that's kind of what I have to say about the whole movie in general.
Yeah, I really agree with you right there. Of course, with what you said about the Empire State Building, it's a different version of that in Miles' dimension, but I pretty much just agree with what you said there. I don't think the story needs to be fixed at all. I think it was just completely well done. There's not a thing that I would change about the story.
Alright, so I kind of guess that we don't really have a lot to go off of. It's basically just arguing about the story and whatnot, so we kind of agree on the same thing. The story is amazing, the story is amazing, and it's kind of a very well done story.
Now we'll give our initial thoughts on the characters and like what we think of them. So Jimmy, what did you think about the characters in this movie?
Okay, what I thought about the characters, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but as much as I really, really, really want to like the characters, I really, really want to like these characters, sometimes these characters go out of their way to be extremely annoying. I'm sorry, but as much as I really, really want to like these characters, they are extremely annoying.
What? Who?
Spider-Ham with this obsession. He's sort of like a Looney Tune-esque character, and it's not that I hate the Looney Tunes-esque style they gave Spider-Ham. It's just this emphasis on being all cartoony, and I'll admit that kind of gets a chuckle out of me from time to time, but when it's his character all throughout the film, it kind of begins to not be funny for me. And there's especially a bit towards the middle of the film where they're just Spider Noir, played by Nicolas Cage, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham. Even Gwen Stacy, for that matter, is ranting on Miles Morales, just telling him, like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that Spider-Man is, but he tells him no, 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 no. They keep pressuring him to do so, and that's kind of what kills it for me.
They're trying to make him stronger than he really is, because he just doesn't have as much of a fighting skills like in the middle of the film as he does at the end of the film.
Yeah, I'll admit that's true, but you can't just force people to become greater than they already are by just yelling at them. I don't yell at you, hey, you need to do a review better. You need to add better.
Now, here's what I think, though, Jimmy. I think all the characters were really well done. I don't think any of the characters were annoying, really. I especially liked Peter B. Parker. Anyway, and I thought he was really good, and I also thought Gwen Stacy was really good, and the reason why they would want to, pressure him and pressure Miles to get stronger a lot faster is because they're needing to do something, they're needing to stop Kingpin, in a very short amount of time. So imagine if you were having to do that to someone and you were having to stop someone in a very short amount of time, then you'd want to do that.
All right, I'll admit that I kind of may have not emphasized my point clearly. I don't hate these characters because they're annoying. I hate the characters because they kind of do these over-the-top things that kind of get me annoyed here and there, like Spider-Ham being a lot like a Looney Tune, Gwen Stacy.
I actually thought that was funny.
Well, I don't really hate Gwen Stacy because she's a really done character, but Spider-Man Noir just all dark and brooding, kind of like emo Peter from Spider-Man 3. I'm sorry that I have to bring that up, but it's true. He is exactly like emo Peter.
No, he's not. He doesn't go around dancing.
Well, they do kind of show that in the beginning of the film, but anyway, that's enough out of me. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to you so that way you can finish up.
All right. So now that we've given our thoughts about the characters, now we got to see if these characters need to be fixed or not. So, Jimmy, what do you think of these characters?
Well, I was going to say that now that we talked about the characters and gave our pre-thoughts about them, we kind of want to see what needs to be fixed about the characters or not, or if they need to be fixed or not. So, Matt, do you want to begin?
Yeah, sure. I don't think any of the characters have any problems. I know you may disagree with me with some stuff, but I honestly didn't have a problem with any of the characters at all. I mean, I really liked... Spider-Ham, to me, was actually really hilarious at times. And Spider-Man Noir, or however you say it.
Noir.
Yeah, thank you. I thought that he was well done. But the really important character is Miles Morales, and with him, I don't think we need to do anything with. Neither Peter Parker or Spider-Gwen. And I think that's pretty much all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I'll admit, I feel that the characters as a whole really don't need to be changed. I'm sorry about that, just need to move my seat anyway. Back to what I was talking about. The characters as a whole, they're really good. But sometimes they can get a little bit annoying. They sometimes repeat plot threads that don't even need to be repeated at all. They repeat sequences that don't even need to be... Well, okay, you know what? I can't I can't lie to myself anymore. I like these characters, but sometimes they can kind of get annoying for me. They would kind of do stuff that I would personally get annoyed with, like yell at people to be better, be better. And I know it's kind of a stressful situation to be in because it's a stressful mission. Kingpin's about to destroy the world by mashing universes together like it's a interdimensional sandwich or something. But the point of the matter is, if you want the characters to be likable, don't make them annoying. Unless they're Groot, because let's be honest, I love Groot even though he's annoying. So Matt, you got anything to add to that?
Well, I kind of have to disagree with you there. I mean, I don't really think any of the characters, what they did, are annoying. I mean, if it was me, like, and I was having to rely on someone to save the world, if someone's about to blow it in like almost 10 hours, something like that, I'd probably be doing the same thing too, because it's like, we're really trying really hard to save the world. It's like you want to make it feel like that you're really feeling some stress to it. You can't make it feel like it's just plain easy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But so now, it's finally time to move on to the star rating system. And Matt, would you want to take it away?
All right, so now we've gotten our thoughts out of the movie. Let's move on to the star rating system, where we give our movie
Where it's pretty
rating.
much what we've been doing for the past 6 episodes. And although I kind of dislike the characters, I'll put that aside because the characters, I'll admit, are acted out perfectly. The story is woven in very, very fluently. And all of it's just done to perfection. It's done perfectly to a T. So I'll go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5. Just even though I don't think that some of the characters are annoying, some of their actions might be annoying. But I'll put that aside and say that this movie is amazing. Matt, what did you think of the film? What rating do you give it?
I give this film a 5 out of 5 stars. Reason being is because I really had fun enjoying this film, and it's a film that I'd be watching again. And it's also a fun film, like if you were wanting to watch a Spider-Man film with your kids or something.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And since that this film has got both of us to rate it a 5 out of 5, we are going to give it the award, which is called the Jim and Matt at the Movies Most Recommended Film to Watch Award. Congratulations.
What did you think of this movie? Did you like it or did you not like it?
Got any films you want us to cover next? Leave it down in the comments below, or follow us on our social medias, or talk to us if you want to. Matt, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.
You could find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok.
Hey Jimmy, do you want to go to our laboratory?
What could possibly interest me in a laboratory?
Symbiotes?
No way, that sounds like something out of a horror film.